Hey, hi, hello, it's me, Tiana, back at it again for another video. And today we are talking about the TikTok relationship guru, girlies, and I guess boys too, because there's men on there. But yeah, so first I feel like I have to address the elephant in the room. I have not posted a video in like 6, 7, 8 months. I don't remember. And like, if somebody, anybody, if one person leaves a comment asking like the full details about why I haven't posted in 8 months, I will make a video about it because I do want to talk about it, but I also don't want to put forth the effort to make the video if no one cares. Because, you know, people go on and off the internet all the time, and I feel like if you make any sort of like living off the internet, or you're like known in any way on the internet, people feel like they have to explain themselves if they're gone for more than like 2 minutes. And like, to some extent I get it, because you have people who, like, you know, created like a bond with you through watching your videos. They form a habit with, you know, your videos coming on, you know, once a week or once a month or whatever. And then when you go long periods without posting, they're like, whatever happened to that person who did, you know, the videos about XYZ? So I get it. So if you care, you can put a comment and I'll make a full video talking about, you know, everything that's been going on with me for the last 8 months. But the long and short of it was that I was feeling very overwhelmed, and I had a lot going on. I think the last time I posted a video was like August or July of last year. But so dang, that means we coming up on a year. Eek. But anyways, I just was feeling overwhelmed, so I wanted to take a break. And then it was my birthday, and I was like, I'll take a little bit longer of a break because it was my birthday. And then I met someone and I started dating someone, and that was like prioritized all of my brain functioning. I could not do anything but think about this person. We're still involved. Nothing really changed. It's still the only thing that's in my brain, but I've decided that I need to make time for other stuff too. But and then I moved, if you can't tell, because there's a whole new different background that we got going on. And then after I moved and kind of got settled, because I moved like almost 2 months ago, I just didn't have any inspiration. I didn't have anything that I really wanted to talk about. I haven't really, because I was doing a bunch of like live stuff, like I was out and about in the streets, you know, dating and like I said, moving, and just I changed jobs and all of that. So I wasn't really like engaging in pop culture stuff, which is what I was you know, making my videos about. I also gave up social media for LANT this year, so I wasn't online to see like online conversations and stuff, so I didn't really have nothing to talk about for that whole period. So yeah, now I'm just now getting back into a little bit of inspiration, had something on my mind that I wanted to talk about, so here I am with you guys. See, this is the long and short. I can give you more if you want more. I can go on more details, but that's the long story short. Okay, so let's talk about the TikTok girlies. So I have gotten pretty obsessed with TikTok because of the pandemic. Like I feel like almost everybody, like I knew what TikTok was prior to 2020. I had been on there prior to 2020, but when everything shut down and everybody was in the house and more people were on the platform, it just sort of exploded, right? We all know TikTok went from being an app that was like primarily just for like dancing for teenagers to literally everybody from all demographics finding their niche on TikTok because of the way that the app facilitates growth. Pretty much anybody can be TikTok famous. Like if you can make a video that's engaging enough that people want to comment and like, and because they push their videos out to everyone with the For You page concepts, where it's really just algorithms seeing if someone likes this sort of video, then they'll probably like this sort of video. So if you have one subscriber, one, you know, follower, or, you know, 16 million followers, you have the same sort of ability to have your video pushed to everyone. So it turned TikTok into a bunch of different niches, like very small, very specific things that if you're into, you're being pushed directly to the audience that would be interested in that thing, right? So we have all these things that's like, oh, I'm on Disney Talk, or I'm on, you know, cleaning talk, or I'm on whatever lesbian talk, or whatever is the different factions that you sort of get siloed into, right? And I can make a bigger, broader video about my personal feelings about the TikTok as an application and like the implications of the way that TikTok functions, because I do think that there are good and bad qualities about the way that you're able to take, you know, like I said, someone who just posted a video and be pushed towards everybody and their grandma. And it's like, sometimes that's good, right? And sometimes it's not so great, because you see people who, which I'll talk about more later, people who are just posting like cute, fun things for their people get pushed out to a broader audience who don't understand the nuance, the context, or who these people are, what they're doing, and it turns into like harassment. Or you see, you know, people who it can get messy very quickly, right? And that's the whole point. So because I'm assuming, you know, I am someone who is very interested in relationships and how people have dynamics between each other, human interaction, and all of that, I am being For You page filled with dating and relationship TikToks, right? So I keep seeing this theme within these TikToks of there's certain like beats that I keep seeing over and over for everyone, or at least the videos that are being pushed towards me on TikTok, right? Even when I don't engage with these videos, I don't really comment much on people's videos. I don't really like much people's videos, but I keep getting pushed this content, right? And not only is it just dating content, right? With people being like, oh, let me show you my first date with this guy that I met on the dating app, right? Because that's a niche that I'm getting pushed a lot, right? People going on their first dates with people off of dating apps, or people dating in general, like regular everyday people talking about the dates that they go on, the people that they're dating, you know, relationship stuff, right? Then there's the sector that is people who are like dating experts or dating coaches, or people giving dating tips generally, right? So this is people who are actual, like on their business card, dating coaches, and also just regular people who are like, hey, this is what I do when I'm dating, right? And then there is the therapist, which it's a kind of overlap, right? Like some of it is personal development, and some of it is like relationships, like generally like mom, dad, parents, sibling, you know, how to deal with coworkers, sort of relationship stuff. And then there's also parts of it that's like specifically, you know, cis het normative male female relationship dynamic sort of people, right? And then also the last little sector that's always being pushed to me is the men with microphones. The podcast clips, right, of people who are talking about their past relationships, or doing those, you know, what did they call? Somebody has called it something so funny on Twitter. I cannot remember. Hypotheticals. The hypotheticals of, if your girl did this, what would you do? Or if your man did this, what would you do? Sort of relationship content, right? And within all of these things, right, in all of these sectors, which I guess maybe save like the therapist stuff, but even with some of that, it's problematic. But I'll get there. Even within all of that, the main facet that I feel like is missing, both in the comments and in with the actual content itself, is that what works for you is not necessarily what works for anyone else, right? And I feel like a lot of these videos are giving these rules that feel so rigid, and you see people in the comments engaging with what these people are saying as if these people are the rule makers on what it is to be in a relationship. Like I have seen recently a lot of pushback on one of the main concepts that I don't like within this relationship like sphere, the if he wanted to he would, right? And this is not me being a pick me, but I feel like a lot of the relationship advice that I'm seeing is, and this might just be what's being pushed to me, but I feel like a lot of it is extremely limiting in what it believes men are capable of, right? And like, I am not someone who's had a bunch of like relationship experience, right? I won't sit here and act like I was the girl that was dating 4, 5, 10 men at a time, like her rosters, I'm going on dates every weekend, like the it girl that's in the mix. Like I've never been that girl, mostly because I'm just not really that social, and I don't want to be in nobody's face every day. Like the idea of having to go on a date with the same person or with different people every single day of the week makes me want to vomit. Like I have no desire to be that girl, right? And I also have had pretty positive relationships with men generally, right? Like I have the same sort of relationship issues or relating to men issues that most women have, of when men, especially as a dark-skinned Black woman who went to a white high school and middle school, elementary school, but like the interactions that women say, like the negative interactions women have had with men, of men being like creepy and weird and following you or making you feel uncomfortable or talking to you crazy, or being like overly touchy or overly familiar, or, you know, bordering on assault. Like I've had all those experiences that everyone has had, but for the most part in relationships, one-to-one relationships with men, I've had like mostly positive relationships, right? I've dated people, didn't work out, we moved on. I've never had the, like, you know, the big thing. I've been cheated on, but like it wasn't that big of a deal, or at least it wasn't that big of a deal to me. It was just like, okay, we're not meant for each other, let's move on, right? And I also feel like maybe I have a more positive view of human beings, of people, than most of these people who are making this relationship advice, which I feel like is another piece that I want to get back to later. But like if he wanted to, he would, is focus so solely on performative relationship ideals, right? You see people who are like being, you know, taken out on these great, grand, fantastic dates, right? Where, you know, the man that they are in a relationship with is buying them roses and they're taking them to these fancy restaurants. And then he, you know, plans a trip to, you know, Jamaica, and he has, you know, all of the diamonds and the Gucci bags, and then, you know, the man is, you know, buying you this thing that you want and that thing that you want, and basically presenting the relationship in a way that is easily commodified. Like where you could be like, oh, you know, if my man doesn't buy me XYZ, then he doesn't care about me, right? Or if my man can't give me this experience that I'm seeing that this girl has, then he's not worth it, right? And like it's not even just the people in the comments who are like the whole thing of, oh, I'm happy for you, but I'm about to go kill myself, right? Because you don't have the relationship that this person is presenting to you on the internet. And like the thing about that bothers me is not even just that we're in a global pandemic with like crazy high inflation and gas prices at $6 and food prices at like $700 an egg, like, and nobody has money. Or if you do have money, you're in the very small few of people who have like the disposable income that are able to even do this stuff. It's just that it's unrealistic for you to expect for everyone to be the same sort of cookie cutter, perfectly hyper capitalistic boyfriend. Like, everybody is not going to show love in the same way. Like, just because your man is not the kind of man that will, you know, buy, you know, 35,000 roses and fill your house with them just to ask you on a first date does not mean he cares about you less than the man that does that. Like, and to keep conflating love with material things, or even not even just material things. I keep mentioning material things because it's crazy to me how materialistic the relationships online present as, but also just giving this image of this is how love is and this is what love should look like, when love is so individualistic and people show care and attention in ways that are not always good for Instagram. Like, there are ways that you can love someone and care about someone and be there for someone and be like really great, and it can't be translated to an Instagram post. It can't be translated to a TikTok, right? You can't show, you know, emotional support, or you can't show like someone who's like growing and changing and learning from you and wanting to be a better person for you and like working on their flaws. And, you know, you can't show that in a TikTok. And those are things that I think are more important in a relationship than who flew who out to Jamaica, like it just, or to Bali. Like, I get the aesthetic of it. I get that it's cool to look at, but I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like it's setting these unhealthy standards. And then you see people who will come on here onto TikTok or Instagram or Twitter or whatever and talk about their dates and relationships, and you can sort of see how the toxic mindset of this is what a perfect relationship look like, this is what it means to show love, this is how you should be in a relationship, seeps into people's, you know, things, psyches. And you see people who go on a regular, normal, happy date, have regular, normal interactions with people, and they feel like because they're not performing love in the way that they see on Instagram, the way that they see on TikTok, then the person that they don't care about them. Or the idea of, I wish I would have saved a specific video so I can give you a better example. But like when I see people who are like, these are my rules for dating, right? If you text him at 1 o'clock and he does not text you before 1:45, block his number and never speak to him again. And to me, I'm like, that's psychotic. Like, you feel like you're the strict girl who's like not letting these men play in your face, and that you know, you, if he wanted to, he would, and if he cared about you, he would, you know, answer your messages when you send them, and he would always be waiting with bated breath. And it's like, people have lives. Like, people have other things going on. It's completely healthy and normal for your partner to have a life outside of you. And if you are blocking people because they don't respond to you exactly how you want them to respond in the time period that you want them to respond in, it's like, it's unrealistic that you will find someone who will check all those boxes. And to me, a lot of that feels like avoidance in relationships. A lot of that feels like people who are not willing to be vulnerable in relationships and in love, and are doing these things to make them feel like they have some sort of control over relationships, and they have control over like other people and how they relate. Like, if you can be the one who leaves the relationship first, then you win. But the thing is, you don't know what that relationship could have been if you are going into it looking for a reason to get out of it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm a big believer in that if you want to be in relationships, that you have to be okay with having your heart broken. That there's no way to have a real love if you are not able to be vulnerable and prepared for your heart to be broken. Because there are only two ways you leave a relationship. You break up or you die. So you have to be okay with the idea of heartbreak if you want to be in love. And a part of being okay with heartbreak is being okay with your partner not being perfect. With your partner being able to have flaws, with your partner to be able to have things that you don't like and that you can work through, right? And this is not me saying that if a man is showing you his big red flashing flags at the beginning of the relationship, that you have to ignore those, right? I'm not saying ignore red flags, but I'm saying give people grace. Give people grace. Like, if a man tells you that, or I'm saying men, but I see it this applies to anyone. If someone that you're in a relationship with makes a misstep, right, does something that you don't like, or you don't, hits a boundary of yours or whatever, explain to them. Have that conversation with them. Explain to them what it is that they did that you don't like. Explain to them why you don't like it. Explain to them what you would like to see them do differently in the future. And also, with that piece, understand that no one changes behaviors immediately. No one changes behaviors overnight. So if you then make that boundary and you tell this person, hey, when you do this, I don't like this. It makes me feel like this. I wish you would do this instead. And then the next time they do it again, you can say to yourself, do I feel like they're purposely continuing to push at this boundary that I set? Or are they showing growth and showing that they're trying to change this behavior, right? Because you can tell when someone did something on purpose, or if it was just a habit that they were into, right? And also you can tell by how they react to you resetting that boundary, right? If you say, hey, I don't like it when you call me after 10 p.m., because, I like to go to bed at this time and it disturbs my sleep. And if you tell them, don't call me after 10 p.m., and then they call you at 10:15, then you can be like, hey, I don't know if you remember, but I said, I don't really like calls after this time. And you can see with their reaction whether that was like, oh, I completely forgot. I'm so sorry. I'll talk to you in the morning. Or if they try to push it and be like, well, you're already up now, we might as well just talk, and try to push that boundary. Like, there are healthy ways to have conflict in relationships. No one is perfect. No one is perfect, not even you. And this was something that I had to learn. I'm not perfect. And the thing is, you should not expect for people to be perfect, and people should not expect for you to be perfect. There are going to be missteps. There are going to be things that you don't like that your partner does, and there are going to be things that your partner doesn't like that you do. But a healthy relationship is built on being able to have healthy conflict. It's built on being able to disagree with someone and still love them. To disagree with someone and still be able to have positive relationships with them. And this sort of idea bleeds into like the way friendships and stuff are portrayed online too, because it turns into thing of where it's like you see these groups of girls or groups well, I don't really too much see men doing this online, but and that's not to say they don't do it, but I just don't really see it. But you'll see groups of female friends who all sort of look alike, and they are performing friendship in ways that are, again, hyper capitalistic. They're buying each other Birkin bags for their birthdays, or they're buying out the restaurant for the graduation party, and they're buying everybody the matching Hermes, Kelly bags. I feel like is Hermes the only thing in my brain right now? But like they have all of these like material wealth signifiers that they all have together, and then you see like these falling outs of them being like, oh, when I did this, they didn't do that, and I did this, that, and the third for this person, but they couldn't do that. And it's like, I had this, but they didn't show up. And it's like these very petty, small things that if the relationship was built on love, if the relationship was built on community, if the relationship was built on genuine care for each other and not for aesthetics and capitalistic pursuits, then you would have more to fall back on. There would be less conflict in that relationship because you actually care about each other, and you actually have things in common, and you have things that you like about each other outside of what this relationship looks like to other people. So if this person who you genuinely care about and want to keep in your life does something, you're able to have healthy dialogue and conflict about it, work it out, realize what each other needs, and grow from it, versus throwing away a friendship because this person made one mistake or did one thing that you didn't like, because the only purpose of having that person around was for the photos, was for the having the put together that girl sort of lifestyle where other people who are watching you are able to want to live their life, right? They're living vicariously through your posts online. You're making people jealous and in their feelings about the things that you have, or you show the lifestyle that you're performing, right? I don't know. The main thing that I think that I want to leave this video off in is just that I wish that more people cared about community, right? Who cared about being in community with people and cared about people and like leading with love, care, compassion, and grace, and not just performative, surface level, aesthetic driven relationships. Like, to me, it just feels there's such a lack of love and care in a lot of the relationship content that I see online. And it makes me sad because I know that for most of these people, they are genuinely looking for love, and they're looking for, like I said, community, and they're looking to feel like there's someone on this terrible, horrible, no good, very bad planet that, genuinely cares about them. But the way that we are going about it is just so toxic that you can't help but continue to get into toxic relationships because the toxicity is just baked in. Like, your mindset was toxic. Like, and it's not to say you attract what you get or whatever, but it's more of, if you go into relationships deciding that it's your way or the highway, and not being willing to give grace and grow with someone and be open to your flaws being pointed out, and your flaws being the things that's being pushed to, grow or learn from, it just turns, it's never healthy. Like, it can't be healthy because it's too much about control, and too much about ego, and too much about, performative stuff, I don't know. But yeah, that's the words that was on my spirit for today. In the comments, tell me a green flag for you in relationships. I think that is so cute. When I see those videos, when people are saying like these are green flags, or like non-sexual turn-ons, like when a man listens, or you know, when a woman scratches my head, like I love those. So tell me in the comment a green flag for you in a relationship. If you're meeting someone new, what is something that they do or say or you look for that will make you be like, I want to see more of him, right? Okay, I'm gonna think. I'll put mine in the comments. So yeah, that is it. That is all. Thank you as always for watching. And if you are someone who's been subscribed to me for a while, I appreciate you for not unsubscribing, even though I went through that long period of not posting. I really, really, really appreciate every single comment. I read them all, even if I don't respond. And I appreciate every view and every person who took even 3 seconds out of their day to listen to me ramble on. But yeah, hopefully I'll be more consistent with videos. I don't really have like any ideas for another video. Like I said, it was just, I was driving and this was on my mind. I was like, I should just make a YouTube video about it. So I am. But if you have anything specific that's happened in the last 8 months that you want to see me do a video about or talk about, you can put that in the comments. I might do a video of just like stuff that happened when I was gone, that I wanted to talk about, that I just never talked about. I don't really know if it's too much, but if y'all put stuff in the comments, I will comment. I will post a video. I'll do a video about it. Yeah, so that's it. That's all.